Hello everyone, I'm Sneha. I'm back on my YouTube channel Storyteller. So I was reading out to you a very interesting story, The Room of Many Colors. So let us see what more experiences the writer, the little boy, gathers, and what are the more interesting things he encounters during his growing age. So let's not waste time and read through the story. When I got to the top, I knocked on the door of Rani's room. Getting no reply, I walked along the balcony until I reached another doorway. There were wooden panels around the door with elephants, camels, and turban warriors carved into it. As the door was opened, I walked boldly into the room, then stood still in astonishment. The room was filled with a strange light. There were windows going right round the room, and each small window pane was made up of different colored pieces of glass. The sun that came through one window flung red and green and purple colors on the figure of the little Rani, who stood there with her face pressed to the glass. She spoke to me without turning from the window. This is my favorite room. I have all the colors here. I can see a different wall through each pane of glass. Come, join me. And she beckoned to me, her small hand fluttering like a delicate butterfly. I went up to Rani. She was only a little taller than me, and we were able to share the same window pane. See, it's a red wall, she said. The garden below, the palace, and the lake were all tinted red. I watched the Rani's wall from a while and then touched her on the arm and said, I have bought you a rose. She started away from me, and her eyes looked frightened. She would not look at the rose. Oh, why did you bring it? She cried, wringing her hand. He will be arrested now. Who will be arrested? The prince, of course. But I took it, I said. No one saw me. Aya and Dukhi were inside the house catching a snake. Did they catch it? She asked, forgetting about the rose. I don't know. I didn't wait to see. They should follow the snake instead of catching it. It may lead them to a treasure. All the snakes have treasures to guard. This seemed to confirm that Aya had been telling me, and I resolved that I would follow the next snake that I meet. Don't you like the rose then? I asked. Did you steal it? Yes. Good. Flowers should always be stolen. They are more fragrant then. Because of a man like Hitler, war had been declared in Europe and Britain was fighting Germany. In my comic papers, the Germans were usually shown as blundering idiots, so I didn't see how Britain could possibly lose the war, nor why it should concern India, nor why it should be necessary for my father to join up. But I remember his showing me a newspaper headline which said, Bombs fall on Buckingham Palace, King and Queen safe. I expect that had happened to do with it. He went to Delhi for an interview with the RAF and I was left in Aya's charge. It was a week I remembered well because it was the first time I had been left on my own. That first night I was afraid of dark, afraid of the emptiness of the house, afraid of the howling of the jackals outside. The loud ticking of the clock was the only reassuring sound. Clocks really made themselves heard those days. I tried concentrating on the ticking, shutting out other sounds and the menace of the dark, but it wouldn't work. I thought I had a faint heaving near the bed and sat up, bathed in perspiration, certain that a snake was in the room. I shouted for Aya, and she came running, switching on all the lights. A snake, I cried. There's a snake in the room. Where, Baba? I don't know where, but I heard it. I looked under the bed and behind the chairs and tables, but there was no snake to be found. She persuaded me that I must have heard the breeze whispering in the mosquito curtain. But I didn't want to be left alone. I'm coming to you, I said, and followed her into a small room near the kitchen. Aya slept on a low string cot. The mattress was thin, the blankets worn and patched up, but Aya's warm and solid body made up for the discomfort of the bed. I snuggled up to her and was soon asleep. I had almost forgotten the Rani in the old palace and was about to pay her a visit when, to my surprise, I found her in the garden. I had risen early that morning and had gone running barefoot over the dew-drenched grass. No one was about, but I startled a flock of parrots and the bird rose screeching from a banyan tree and wheeled away to some other corner of the palace ground. I was just in time to see a mongoose scurrying away the grass with an egg in its mouth. The mongoose must have been raiding the poultry farm at the palace. I was trying to locate the mongoose hideout and was on the floor in jungle of tall cosmos plant when I heard the rustle of clothes and turned to find the Rani staring at me. She didn't ask me what I was doing there, but simply said, I don't think he could have gone in there. But I saw him go this way, I said. Nonsense. He doesn't live in this part of the garden. He lives in the root of the banyan tree. But that's where the snake lives, I said. You mean the snake who was a prince? Well, that's who I'm looking for. A snake who was a prince. I gaped at Rani. She made a gesture of impatience with her butterfly hands and said, You're only a child, you can't understand. The prince lives in the root of the banyan tree, but he comes out early morning every day. Have you seen him? No, but I saw a mongoose. The Rani became frightened. Oh dear. Is there a mongoose in the garden? He might kill the prince. How can a mongoose kill a prince? I asked. You don't understand, Master Bond. Prince, when they die, are born again as snakes. All prince. No, only those who die before they can marry. Did your prince die before he could marry you? Yes, and he turned to this garden in the form of a beautiful snake. Well, I said, I hope wasn't the snake the water carrier killed last week. He killed a snake. The Rani looked horrified. She was quivering all over. It might have been the prince. It was a brown snake, I said. Oh, then it wasn't him. She looked very relieved. Brown snakes are only ministers and people like that. It has to be a green snake to be a prince. I haven't seen any green snake here in the garden. There's one living in the root of banyan tree. You won't kill it, will you? No, if it's really a prince and you won't let others kill it. I'll tell Aya. Good, you're on my side. But be careful of the gardener. Keep him away from the banyan tree. He's always killing snakes. I don't trust him at all. So, in my next video, I'm going to read the next part of this story. So, till then, keep listening to all the previous stories which I have read out to you. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Share this video with your friends, with your family members. And very soon, I'm going to come up with a surprise for you all to break through this monotony of short stories. So for that, you will have to stay tuned. So like, share and subscribe. Thank you.